It's kind of obvious to me that this bike's not running as it should. I don't just think it's like a, oh, it's a thumper, mate, you got to get used to it. There's something wrong with this bike. It's underpowered. It's too vibraty. It's fucking ridiculous. You ready? Fingers crossed. Right, behind this door is my new motorcycle. Exciting. Yeah. And here it is in all its glory. In all its bits. Tools everywhere, panels everywhere. The bike in bits. Well, this is going to tell you something about the kind of week I've had, people. I've not even had this a week. Mistake? I think so, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take you back to Monday and the evening when I picked it up, and then I'll show you what's been happening this week and how I got to this point. All right, I'll see you soon. First impressions, yeah, not great. Fucking hell, this is the vibiest thing I've ever ridden. Alright, so we've been on the bike for about 10 minutes and I've got over the initial shock of the fact that there's a piston underneath me trying to rake me. It is punching its way through the seat into my arse. That's the feeling I'm getting from the bike at the moment. So far, all I can think about is vibration. There's a fuckload of vibration coming through the handlebars, through the pegs, through the seat. I mean, is this normal, you lot? Yeah, I don't like it. It's not that I hate it, but it's not far off. It's not far off hatred, what I'm feeling for this bike. And so far I'm thinking that actually I've made a terrible mistake. And that if I'd have come and had a ride on this bike, I'd have straight away gone, hey, it's not for me. Fucking bastard. First off, see what it's like. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you fucking bastard. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. No. Let's go on the other side. The good thing about these little bikes is they're really light. Yeah, of course they fucking are. Oh. Lift with your legs. Lean it against you. That's the one. That. Right. Attack! Attack, Steve! Attack! Come on, Steve! You can do it, Steve! Attack, Steve! Is this your attack? I'll take it. And then plod up there! Do it! Do it! Oh, mate, you're going very slowly. I'm turning your throttle, but you're not doing a lot, are you? That's it. I'll send you a letter next time I need some acceleration, shall I? Is this a unicorn bike? I'll answer that quite quickly. No, it's not. I think it's better off-road than it is on-road, and the problem for me, I don't know if it's this bike or if there's a problem with this engine, but it's just too vibey. It's too vibey to do distance on. The geezer I bought it off, props if you're watching, mate. Ooh, he was going to take this to Morocco. Okay, I won't take it to Manchester. Never mind fucking Morocco. It's kind of obvious to me that this bike's not running as it should. I don't just think it's like a, oh, it's a thumper, mate, you got to get used to it. There's something wrong with this bike. It's underpowered. It's too vibraty. It's fucking ridiculous. Just stopped for a coffee and did a bit of research, and saw something on a forum, someone saying that they had exactly the same problem and they found out that it was the secondary spark plug. Hello viewers, you meet me in Crumble's lair. Yeah, and here we are with a dismantled Sertão. This is a new bike. Purchased it on Saturday, pressed by it now, whatever, on Saturday. Picked it up Monday. Tuesday, this sounds like a Craig David song. Tuesday, I took it on the trails, yeah, but Wednesday, I took it apart. He hasn't got that accent, but you know what I'm saying. So what happened is, on Tuesday, I just thought, do you know what, this bike's not right. There's something not right about this bike. And my thoughts and a bit of research led me to believe that there might be something wrong with the plugs or perhaps the ignition coils. So I don't know if you can see there, but this is a twin spark. I'm finding all this out now. A twin spark model, and it has 2 spark plugs, and apparently one kicks in at above 3,000 RPM. It's a single cylinder bike with twin spark. You explain it to me. You do the math. So I've got it in my head that there might be something wrong with it, because it just feels to me like it's ridiculously vibey. I mean, it could be to do with the 8-ton Touratech belly pan that's been attached to the frame without any rubber washers or anything. So that's probably creating some sort of amplification. But it's underpowered, it's vibey as fuck, and in its current iteration, I can't live with this. But I've basically got the plugs out. I had a look at the plugs. Do you want to have a look at the plugs? Plugs are absolutely fine. Plugs are absolutely fine. Both of them like that. And I've had a look at the coils, inspected the coils, and basically I've ordered some new plugs, some Iridium ones, and yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can solve it with some new plugs. I've cleaned the coils, going to put the coils back in, and then we'll start it up and see what the score is here. Because as it currently is, I can't own this bike. It's just too shit. So something's got to happen. And to get to the plugs in typical BMW style, you lot, I had to take the airbox off. Can you see this? There's a glove there. Throttle body's there. Airbox. I've had to take the airbox off, the battery tray off, just to get some access to the coils which go through there, and to get to the plugs. I don't know if you can see in the cylinder there, you can see, I think, both of the holes where the spark plugs are going to be going. So I've ordered a couple. So I'm going to try that Thursday, Friday, hopefully when the spark plugs turned up, and let's see what happens. All right, so I'm going to have a clean up, and then I'll meet you again when the spark plugs turn up. All right, see you soon. Right, new day, new dawn. New plugs. We've got some Iridium ones. I've decided to splash out 15 quid a piece, that's all, 15 quid each. So I'm going to try these plugs. We're going to install them now. I'm going to put the coils back on after I've cleaned them. I've cleaned them with contact cleaner, so we'll see. And then I'll have to install the airbox again and put the battery back on, and then only then I'll be able to give it a start and see if it makes any difference. I'm not expecting it to. These things never go that easily, do they? Look at the mess I've made of this bike already in the mud. It's covered in shit, man. It was pristine when I picked it up, and now it's absolutely, yeah, I've brutalised it. I've absolutely brutalised it. All right, I'm going to crack on, and let's see. The next time we speak, I might show you a time lapse. I don't know, but next time we speak, I'm going to start it up and see if I've done anything right. All right, peace out. Okay, moment of truth. Sertão. Let's just double check a few things. So, airbox back on, that was a pain in the arse. Battery back in, that was easy. Terminals, I've put them in the right place. Yeah, it looks like it. Airbox was an absolute pain. Injectors plugged in, airbox plugged in. I think that's it. So we're going to go for a start. What we're looking for here, hopefully, is a bit more punch. There we go. In the game. Right, we're going to go for a start. You ready? Fingers crossed. Right, there it is. Maybe. It did feel like when I was putting it, when I was what happened before, right, was it was so there was so many vibes, and what happened was you could be sat at a standstill, so it was nothing to do with the tyres, balancing of the wheels, none of that nonsense, yeah. You're just at a standstill, and you'd increase the revs, and as you increase the revs, the just vibration, the whole bike would vibrate as you did. Now, it could be that belly pan. It did feel smoother then, but I've got to, of course, get all the panels back on. I'm going to rubber mount that belly pan, get the seat. I need to take it for a ride. The big thing for me as well is that I bought a 650 expecting a bit of punch, you know, thinking I might be able to go 2 up and that it's going to have a bit of something. At the moment, and riding it so far, it doesn't even feel like a 250. It's just gutless. So I'm hoping maybe there was something going on with the coils, maybe the plugs were done. Yeah, I'm just hoping. Fingers crossed. All right, so this is Friday night. I think it'll be over the weekend I'll manage to get this finished, then take it for a ride, and I'll take you with me, and we'll see whether this is staying or going. All right, pieces out. All right, today is Sunday. There's faithful David, looking all gleaming and shining, and here's Steve, naked. You've let me down, Steve. Right, so this week has been a testing week. So we've taken the plugs out, coils, changed the plugs. The plugs were only hand tight. Could that be an issue? Just a little bit more than hand tight. I've talked them in now. Coils have been cleaned, everything's back together. And now, I didn't realise these bikes had an OBD, so I'm going to now plug it in with this, get motor scan going, see if I can throw up any fault codes, see if I can clear anything, see if I can reset some parameters. Brenda, Crumble's resetting parameters in his garage, quick! Yeah, we'll see what's going on there, and then it'll be time to fit these back, get the panels back, get the seat back on, and go for a first ride, and we'll see how it goes, shall we? Fingers crossed, eh? Right, motor scan. Update. 11 o'clock. It's only taken me about 4 hours, I think, to put them panels back on. An absolute ball ache, honestly. So panels are back on, everything's back on, seats back on. This, lost a screw. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna fucking do? Huh? So, we're about ready for a test ride, people. Sorry about that light. What are we thinking? Problem solved that easily? I highly doubt it. So now, let's take it for a test ride. I'll see you out there. All right, conclusions. Kind of conclusions. I've only been on it 5 minutes. It's better. It's definitely better. It's got more punch. It doesn't feel as flat as it did before. It doesn't feel like you can light the fucking world up with it, but it is, you know, a 650 single putting out, what, 44 brake horse. I can still feel that thing though where, you know, is this normal where I do that and all I'm getting is like massive vibes through the seat? You know, I could deal with a few vibes, but not. I don't want to be kind of vibrated to death every time I'm riding this bike. And the fact is, with trail riding, you know, you don't really notice it because you stood up and you've got other things to think about. But it's quite a long way between trails, and you know, it's a good, I don't know, 10 miles to get to them. I don't want to be fucking coming off the bike with vibration white finger by the time I get to the trail. So yeah, I think the big thing now is that it feels like there's an improvement in the bike. That could just be the iridium plugs giving it a little bit more of a boost, I suppose. It could be the fact that I've rubber mounted this, the fact that the vibes aren't as bad as they were. It does feel a bit gutsier, let's call it that. let's not use the PEP word. But I still don't know if I like the bike. It still feels a bit weak. I don't like these handlebars, the tiny fucking little things. I don't really feel cool on this bike. And that first gear and this gearbox. Alright, so this is Sunday. We've finished fettling with the bike. I've still got some tidying up to do. But I've just taken it out, and I reckon it might be 15-20% better. I was hoping it'd be like 50% better. It definitely feels gutsier off the throttle. Doesn't feel as timid as a bike. I know that you've probably got to rip this throttle. It's only 40 brake horse, 40 something. You've probably got to rip this throttle to get the best out of it. It does feel like that. I think the thing that I'm struggling with still is just the vibration. And having never had a single cylinder bike before, maybe, you know, this is something I need to get used to. But do I want to get used to it? I'm really not sure. I rode the Himalayan, that was single cylinder. I never noticed that was a single cylinder. It was really smooth, the engine. Maybe the CF motor with that parallel twin has kind of spoiled me. I don't know. But I just don't know if I can live with this bike. I like the look of it. I like it on the trails, but you've got a lot to do in between trails. And if it's like, if I just don't want to get on it. And I bought it to stick on a trailer and, you know, do some two-up stuff as well. And I think this would just kill us. I think we'd just be vibrated to death. Anyway, I'm going to have one more ride on this bike. I'll take you with me next vid. And I'm going to make that ride decide whether I'm going to keep this bike or not. I'm going to take it out, you know, I'll take it for decent roads, take it back on some trails, and find out whether the trail riding and how good it is on the trail will kind of compensate for how shit it is on the road. Because for me, it's not a great road bike. But I suppose, you know, in this kind of attempt to try and find some sort of unicorn bike, there's always going to be, you know, compromises. That's the word. But yeah, I'll do another ride and then I'll make a decision. I'm so far thinking maybe 80% no, 20% yes. I'm not sure this is going to stick around for very long. If you'd like to buy a BMW Sertão, pow, then give us a shout. But I might just chop it in. Yeah. Thanks for watching, people. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's been kind of serious crumble week, but it's been a tough all week. It's been quite stressful because, you know, I put myself in this position. I stupidly, you know, was impetuous in the way that I bought it instead of going along, having a look at it, test riding it, which is what I should have done. If I'd have test ridden it, I'd have gone, nah, no thanks. Walked away and been on to the next choice. And that's what, the sensible thing. But I was just like, yeah, it looks great. Like that. Like a dickhead. So it's been a tough week. We'll see how we go. Whether this is going to stick around much longer, I don't know. All right. Thanks for watching, people. Peace out. Why? 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 What am I doing here? Fuck. What's up? Go on. Where did those fucking holes come from? Fuck me. How deep are these? How deep is your ruts? Is your ruts? How deep is your ruts? I really want to know. Ow! Steve! 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 Steve!